Karen Jambon, and I'm directing Great Expectations.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happens in this play?
Okay, well, it's a novel that goes on for 400 and something pages that our adaptation has condensed down to a 2-hour play. So Great Expectations is about a young man named Pip who grows up. He lives out in the marshes about an hour outside of London, and he is the brother of the blacksmith's wife, Joe Gargery, and Mrs. Joe, and she is really mean to him. And
Joe is very kind, and Pip, of course, has no expectations except to grow up and become a blacksmith.
He meets a escaped convict
and ends up stealing some things with this convict because he's afraid he'll get killed if he doesn't. Steals some food.
And lots of things happen meanwhile.
And he's told by this lawyer, Jaggers, that yes, he's got great expectations, and he's got a benefactor who is going to make it possible for him to go to London and become a gentleman.
He thinks, of course, that it's Miss Havisham,
who lives in this town. Miss Havisham is an interesting character.
She was jilted at the altar, and lo, these many years has not changed the wedding table or her wedding dress.
We think about the fact that she must smell really good. Anyway, and so he's convinced it's Miss Havisham because she's invited him over to play with her adopted daughter Stella, and she has been raised to be very cold.
So naturally, Pip falls in love with her, right?
Right, long story gets longer because he goes to London. Of course, it becomes a spendthrift, like any man who's got money, or anybody who's got money that they came into all of a sudden. He actually becomes a little bit of a shit because he's full of himself and his money. So you spend a great deal of the book as well as the play thinking, you're not nice. Lots of things happen. He finds out who his true benefactor is. I won't tell you that. And through lots of things, he gets his comeuppance and he becomes a really nice person by the end of the play.
There may be some things that are left out, but we try to bring the whole scope of the novel so that you don't miss anything.
Awesome.
I know.
What drew you to direct this play?
It's actually a lot of fun because the actors are gonna, except for Pip and Magwitch, who's the convict, the actors all do multiple roles, and it's very, very quick, segueing from one scene to another with not a break in the action, and so it's a lot of fun. And we're going to try to keep even though there's some fairly serious things in it, we're going to try to keep the fun going. So it's a challenge because you're having to deal with, I think we counted 45 different scenes. When I say scenes, it moves from this house back to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the marshes, from the marshes to a coach, and so and so no scene is more than about 2 pages long, and then you're off to a next one as you keep the action and the actors moving and changing clothing and whatnot. So it's going to be quite a challenge.
As you have to juggle all of these elements, what do you think is your greatest strength as a director?
I don't know. I'm pretty patient, and that may be necessary when it comes to everybody figuring out, am I carrying this chair or this chair? Where am I moving this to? And so I'm fairly patient, and I think I do a good job of working with actors to bring out their best. If you want to ask my weakness, it's the visual aspect. I really have to work hard to make sure I'm seeing where everybody needs to go and what they need to do and where they need to do it. So.
Do you feel like you have the support team in your production team?
Oh, I definitely do. I have, Anne Marie Gordon and Patrick Anthony and as our scenic designer and our lighting designer, and Helen Parrish is going to help us with our props.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I'm very thrilled about that. And Benjamin Ridgway is on costumes, and I think, I'm pretty excited. And
You'll be fine, Karen. What are some of your favorite aspects of working in the performance space where you'll be? So this time it's the Vortex.
The Vortex is, well, first of all, the team there is just awesome, and the space is always interesting because you've got the audience on 2 sides, and so you've got to be sure that when you're blocking, how you're blocking. You've got a bit of height to work with as a set designer, which is always nice because some spaces you've got no height whatsoever, and you really got to, contain your play. And I think that Norman in different stages is very good at picking plays that suit the physical place, which I think is really important. I mean, you don't want to try to have a multi-level set in a theater that just can't live with it.
Yeah.
It totally changes the nature of the play. So I think, and actors like working there as well, so I think that helps. And they have a full bar. It's important for me after rehearsals during Tech Week.
Right.
Okay. And we'll probably have a drink named after the show, like The Great Expectations. And who doesn't love that at the Vortex?
The Pip.
The Pip.
Which character do you most identify with?
Oh, Lordy. Probably Biddy or Herbert.
Why?
Well, Biddy, because they're nice people. I don't want to be Miss Havisham. Wemmick Wemmick's kind of interesting. Wemmick is the lawyer's assistant, and he's kind of a nice person. I like the nice people. They're not the best things about the play. They don't make it as interesting as the other people, but they're nice. You want to know them. You want them to be your neighbor.
Yeah.
You don't want Miss Havisham as your neighbor.
I totally want Miss Havisham.
That's true. That's true. You'd have a lot to talk about, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And there are actually an interesting fact that she is based on a real character that was alive in that time. Yes, I did my part of my research. Is that there was a person who was jilted and wore this dress, and people knew about her and stuff. And Dickens was very much aware of this Havisham-like person.
How would you classify this script genre-wise?
It is a classic piece of literature, and so I think it is a piece of classic theater that we're just going to try to have a lot of fun with and make it accessible. People think that Dickens is not accessible because he's from the 19th century and his books are big, and his descriptions are amazing, and so when you take that and you condense it onto the stage. It really does try to help make it more accessible. And if one person goes home and reads the book after seeing the play, I'll be a happy camper.
Nice. Why should people be excited about coming to see this show?
Because it's Great Expectations. Also, just because it's going to be a fun, fast evening of theater, and
awesome.
Why not enjoy yourself? You don't always have to go through Sturm und Drang to have a good evening of theater. All right, thank you.
Thank you.